All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to say it's 3 p.m. Hawaii time and 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I don't know why this time change, which has been around for at least a week now, is still throwing me for a loop, but it sure is. All right, we have got people coming on in, hanging out in the chat room. We have got Darlene, we have got Michael Anthony Smith, we have got Gina, we have got, let's see, who else do we have coming on in here? We've got Elaine on the YouTube side. Love to see it when YouTube is here for all sorts of reasons. First off, it's nice to know the tech is working, but mostly it's just lovely for everyone to come in no matter where they want to come from. All right, it looks like, wait, Thomas the Turtle's in the house as well. All right, good to see you, Thomas. And Rick, of course, saying hello. Perfect. All right, we have got all sorts of folks here, including Felicia. Yes, okay, you guys. Now we're starting to get the chatter started. Or rather, we're getting the group together so the chatter can get started. All right, so as everyone's getting settled, putting their coats away, putting on, leaving their slippers at the door, why don't we get things started? I have to say, I just love that black screen with those green kitty eyes. Not my kitty, but beautiful kitty nonetheless. Okay, we are back where it matters, and that is all together. All right, you guys, so I don't know how many of you watch Saturday Night Live or even care about Saturday Night Live, but for those of you who might care, Saturday Night Live last night had a host. That would be Mr. Momoa right there. I don't think he was promoting anything. I don't recall him mentioning his vodka. He mentioned Aquaman a bunch of times, but he didn't really mention if it's coming out or when. So, anyway, Jason Momoa was the host for Saturday Night Live last night. Not really the best Saturday Night Live, I'm going to have to admit, but it was a good one because I learned something, from his monologue. Michael Anthony Smith, you don't get any real TV anymore. I don't either, but Saturday Night Live actually, first off, first off, all y'all who missed it, you don't have to miss it. Saturday Night Live is on YouTube right now as we speak. I mean, it'll be on there, so don't go. Hang out here, but then you can go check it out. But seriously, if you go to Saturday Night Live's YouTube page, they have all of the segments of the show. Not only that, Saturday Night Live actually live streams the monologue as it's happening on their YouTube page. But then about an hour and a half after it starts on the East Coast, they start releasing the clips onto the segment clips onto their YouTube. So for an East Coaster like yourself, Michael Anthony Smith, you'd probably want to wait until the next day to watch the YouTube clips. But for a West Coaster like me, by the time the 11:30 starting time for Saturday Night Live is broadcast on my television on the West Coast, I can literally already watch the entire show on Saturday Night Live's YouTube channel. Granted, it's not all one cohesive, it's segment by segment, but whatever, every segment that SNL has is interrupted by a commercial anyway, so the only real flow problem with the YouTube rebroadcasts or restreams of the show is sometimes the musical guest won't allow that music to be put on their YouTube's page. This last week, I can't remember who the musical guest is, but her performances are totally up there. But when you've got someone like Snoop Dogg or Eminem, or like really big names, I've noticed that oftentimes if they're the guest performer, their musical segments never get included on the YouTube restream, and I can only assume that has something to do with contracts and things like that. But so that's the one problem with the Saturday Night Live restreams, is you might not get the musical performance. And then the other problem is the Weekend Update is such a large section of Saturday Night Live these days. I mean, it's like a good 15 to 20 minutes of the show. And so they usually break down the Weekend Update into multiple segments. And so that one can be hard to recreate the flow of, because you don't necessarily know. They don't release them in any logical order. Like the first segment with the intro might not be the first segment that they release. They might wait 15 minutes and then release they release them out of order, just to screw with us, I guess. So that is the scoop with that. But to bring it back to the whole point of SNL, so Jason Momoa, he did his monologue, and at the end of his monologue, he ended it with Aloha Nui. And I thought that was weird. Like, I'd never heard anyone say Aloha Nui. Now, I know that Nui sort of like means big and extra, and so I was like, well, why didn't he say Aloha No? Because Aloha No is my interpretation of aloha's big and extra, right? Well, there's a good gosh darn reason why he didn't, and this shows how much I don't know about nothing. But does anybody know why, when Jason Momoa was ending his monologue, he said Aloha Nui instead of Aloha No? I'm assuming somebody out here might have a clue. I had to look it up, but I am curious if all y'all are maybe smart enough to know that Jason Momoa was smart enough to know how to speak the language that I don't know how to speak. So, let's see here. And yes, Darlene, I did see those cookies for the doggies, and they looked good enough to eat, but it's okay. I'll keep them I'll let you keep them for the dog. Let's see here. Michael Anthony, you're guessing, is Nui a word for very? Well, kind of, but, well, like most Hawaiian words, it all depends on the context. But no, as it turns out, just like you can say, just like you can say aloha for with different times of the day. Well, Aloha No actually is an enthusiastic greeting. Aloha No is only used as a greeting, whereas Aloha Nui is, with much and great love, and it implies a leaving. I can't remember the exact wording of it, but basically, Aloha No is the enthusiastic greeting, and Aloha Nui is the warm goodbye. And so Aloha Nui is what you say when you're leaving. Yeah, big love, a lot of love, but that's what you say when you're leaving. Aloha No is what you say when you're arriving. So it's still, enthusiastic and warm greetings to you, and enthusiastic and warm farewells to you is basically the nuance that I took. So, obviously, look this up yourself, but when I did Google Aloha No versus Aloha Nui, that was basically the picture that was painted for me. And so, Jason Momoa, not just a hunk of man meat, he's actually able to teach us stuff if we're willing to listen. And yes, that is Miss Ashes right there, just out of arm's reach. Good eye there, Gina. So you guys, I just thought I would pass that little bit of learning along, because I have been known to use the word or the phrase Aloha No a lot, and I've heard Andy use it, and contextually speaking, I I thought I understood it, and as it turns out, I sort of did, but I didn't realize that it was purely a greeting. I like I said, when Jason said aloha nui, I was like, well, why didn't he say aloha no? I thought it could be a blanket, but as it turns out, it is not. So there you have it. Now, in, I don't know, equally important news, more important news, I guess it all depends on who you are. But I heard today, and let me just make it clear, I don't care. But I know that a lot of people do, and so I want to let everybody know it's back. They said it was gone forever, but apparently they lied, and it's back. So, if you're a fan of the McRib, McDonald's apparently has it this November. I don't know how long they're going to have it in November, but apparently it has been released in the United States for the 2023 year. And from the online reviews that I've seen of it, it's actually they've made some improvements. It's a little bit better or something. I don't know. I don't eat them. But for those of you who might crave that McRib and just wondered how you're going to live your life now that McDonald's says it's never coming back, well, just know that McDonald's lied to you and it has come back. And Michael Anthony Smith, you don't eat their food unless it's egg sandwiches. That makes sense. Although, okay, first off, Michael Anthony, I think that it's good that you don't eat their food, especially except for the egg sandwiches. And I'm not trying to change that or argue that you should eat their food. But if you are find yourself just completely, they do actually make grilled cheese sandwiches. You have to order it. It's usually off menu, but basically they do make grilled cheese sandwiches. I think they use their hamburger bun and like turn it inside out or whatever, but you can actually get just like a grilled cheese sandwich if push comes to shove and you need something and that's the only option. But one thing I will say about yes, Michael Anthony Smith, really, I have my friends growing up, I've had vegetarian friends in my life since I was like 12 years old. And yes, trust me, the McDonald's can totally, now granted, this, for some people this is an issue, they're gonna cook it on the same grill that they cook meat on. So, they're gonna use the same spatula. They don't have a vegetarian grill, as it were. So like if you're a hardcore, meat can't even touch the pan that I've cooked my thing on, then no, you're not going to want that. But they do actually have the grilled cheese sandwich. And so Thomas the Turtle, the Shamrock Shake is different. Yeah, I've heard people say that. And Deb, excellent. You love McRib. Yummy. You're here. You're here for a bit, and so is the McRib. So apparently, McDonald's always has that little McRib up their sleeve. And Darlene, seriously, people seem to love it, and I really do think that if it was a regular menu item, it wouldn't be nearly as popular as it is. With the way that they keep it, they take it out and then they take it back, they put it out, they take it out, I do think that it makes it a more wanted commodity than that commodity would be if it were readily available. And so and Darlene, you saw this on the news. It really must be liked by a lot of people. Exactly. But you know what, Michael Anthony Smith? I do like that you are open to eating McDonald's, especially an egg sandwich of theirs, because here's the deal, you guys. They actually have 3 different types of eggs that they use in McDonald's, and one of the types of eggs is actually a real egg. So when you get an Egg McMuffin, you actually are getting a real egg. An egg that someone had to crack and open and put on that pan. There are some restaurants that don't have real eggs. And when I say restaurants, I actually mean sit-down restaurants. My mom was at a bowling tournament many, many years ago, and her bowling team went to go out for breakfast. And my mom wanted either a poached egg or like a fried egg or something to do with an egg. And they're like, no, we can't do that. We only have scrambled. And she was like, I don't like scrambled eggs. Why can't somebody just fry me an egg? And the waitress actually had to admit to her at this breakfast restaurant that they didn't have one egg in the entire restaurant because none of their eggs were real. They were either powdered or liquid poured out of a carton, which is why they only had scrambled. So it's actually kind of impressive that McDonald's actually has a real flippin' egg, because some restaurants that are real restaurants with waitresses and everything don't even have that. McDonald's, does actually have real food as an option. Not all of their food is real food, but they do have it as an option. And Thomas the Turtle, who remembers the old apple pie cooked in the deep fat fryer that would burn your mouth? I do. And I think in Hawaii, they still make them like that. But check this out. I think it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken has apple fritters. And they're deep fried, and they are just like the old-fashioned McDonald's ones. I was so bummed and stoked to find that out, because nobody needs to have easy access to deep-fried apple pies, but I know someone who wants access to deep-fried apple pies. And, let's see here. Darlene, yeah, I wouldn't want to be eating there. You want a real egg. Actually, if I remember the story correctly, my mom was like, I'm not eating here then. If you don't have real eggs in this restaurant, I am not eating here. And whether or not she was the only one who went and found some other place to eat, I don't know. But if I remember correctly, my mom made a stink. My mom made a stink? Well, that just seems unusual. How could someone as shy and timid as I come from a woman who actually would raise a stink? Hey, Poppy Shaney, so good to see you. We right now are talking about Michael Anthony Smith. Was it IHOP? Honestly, I don't know. To tell you the truth, actually, I want to say it was Sherry's. And I know that Sherry's isn't necessarily a breakfast restaurant, but it sure is not a breakfast restaurant. I want to say it was Sherry's. But this was a really long time ago, so definitely don't be quoting me. And let's see here, Thomas Turtle, McDonald's biscuits are pretty good. I don't know. I always get a egg McMuffin or like a sausage McMuffin because, God, they're just so classic. But basically, yeah, Poppy Shaney, we're talking about the most important news of the day, and that is the McRib. It's back. That's right. There it is in all of its realistic glory. The McRib. It's back. And so, that's the important, that's the most pressing and important news we have so far today. And, Michael Anthony Smith, there's no Sherry's in your area. Sherry's is kind of like Denny's. They're usually open 24 hours. They're known for their pies, actually. Let's see. I guess, I don't know if this is a chain that's in your neck of the woods, but there used to be a place called Coco's that I would say is probably the most similar to Sherry's. Coco's also being known for their pies, but it's a sit-down restaurant that is open really late, and it's just a greasy spoon. So, and yes, Michael Anthony Smith, yes, I do love pie myself. And in fact, it's funny because Sherry's is so well known for their pie that when Andy Bumatai came to the Renton area, the hotel that he and James Monet stayed at was chosen because in the parking lot of that hotel was a Sherry's restaurant, and the promoter that was bringing James and Andy to the theater in Renton, he loved their peanut butter pie. And so when he saw that there was a Sherry's in the same parking lot as this particular hotel, and the hotel was very close to the venue, that was the entire reason they chose the hotel, was because there was a Sherry's in the parking lot. Now, unfortunately, the Sherry's was closed, and closed forever by the time they got to the hotel. So there was no Sherry's in the parking lot. But the reason why they chose the hotel was because there was supposed to be a Sherry's in the parking lot. And Poppy Shaney, yeah, Black Bear Diners are super popular in California and in Oregon. And do they have good pies? I don't remember. The only thing, I've been to a couple Black Bear Diners. I think there's some in Nevada too. I think there's a Black Bear Diner like in Sparks or Reno. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple other ones probably in the Tahoe area or whatever. But the one thing I didn't like about the Black Bear Diner, which actually is a very strange thing to say, but they actually make in-house their sausage. And every time I've had sausage there, I don't like the spice mixture that they use, because they don't grind the spices as finely as they should. So you end up with like unflavored meat, and then you bite into like a caraway seed, and suddenly it's just like, boom, there's this huge crunch of caraway flavor. To me, their sausage mixture needs to age more, so the flavors of the spices infuse the meat more. They just don't make... Their homemade sausage is just, I don't know, like I said, not mixed well enough or something. That being said, they home make their sausage at that restaurant. So, once again, the complaint that I have is really only because they're super high-end, they're already stepping up their game by using house-made sausage. So, that's... Even though I have a complaint, I'm still very impressed that they go that route, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And, let's see here. Alright, so... Rick likes the McRib. Maybe he'll have to sneak one in now that they're back. And there's a newer guy here. Oh, okay, Darlene, let's talk about this. There's a newer guy here that's becoming a famous, delicious pie baker, Mr. D's Pies. You have to pre-order even to get one made. All the great ingredients, pricey too. Oh my god, Darlene, oh my god. One of our clients used to own a pie bakery. Some of the pies would be going for like close to 50 flippin' bucks a pie. Now, granted, they were huge pies, they were filling pies, they were this, but I can't believe how flippin' expensive pie is these days. So I'm not at all surprised that, yeah, he's got pricey pies. And, let's see here, Lady Tie-Dye, good to see you. And let's see, Cambria, California has Lynn's Pies that are famous here. Don't know about that, but I'm really in the mood for pie now. All right, Deb, so good to see you. Now that we've got our McRib and pie talk, you can go let the dog out. Have a great Thanksgiving. Maybe we'll see each other on Wednesday, but if we don't, I understand, because all y'all have things to do. Let's see here. And, yes, Thomas the Turtle, it looks like the McRib is still back to its classic pork patty, home-style roll, barbecue sauce, pickle slices, and slivered onions. And Picola Tea, yes, good to see you, Picola Tea, and I didn't upload, dang it, I sent that picture to myself, but I didn't upload it. Cola T found a very strange phenomenon today. Pumpkin pie filled Manapua, no, malasada. Oh no, it was pumpkin Manapua. Oh no. My eyes, when you sent me that picture, Cola T, it was pumpkin malasada, and I was like, I don't know, that doesn't sound that bad. But now that I realize it's actually pumpkin Manapua, oh my god, what are they thinking? No. Did I mention? No. And yeah, Darlene, $30 to $50 a pie. Right, exactly. That's what we're talking about. It's so flippin' insane. But, but when you do the math, it's just like, well, I guess, it's like, ingredients cost this much, rent costs this much, employees cost this much. Right. And Michael Anthony Smith, I'm going to go to bed. You cannot mess with Manapua. Fair enough. Pacola T clarifying, yes, Manapua, as in it's supposed to be filled with char siu pork. Right, exactly. Or red bean paste if nothing else, but still, give me the pork. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And let's see here, Thomas, it took me a while to shave ice with azuki bean paste, so pumpkin Manapua is probably worth a try. So hard to say. I just feel like if it's steamed Manapua, I'm not gonna try it. I don't think. Baked, I might. Hard to say. And right, Costco's 24-inch. It might be an 18-inch, but still, I think it's an 18-inch pie, or maybe I don't think it's 24-inch pie. But you are right. Costco's pumpkin pie is ridiculously cheap for its size. Which is why, when you are buying a pie from a non-industrialized bakery, because Kirkland Bakery is industrialized, the scale gets so different, and I can only assume that Costco's using those pies as loss leaders, and oh my god, Poppy. One of those pies for you and Tracy would probably last like an entire flippin' year, right? Let's see here. Yeah, I figured he was joking. But I do have to wonder though if Costco's using their large, they are at least, I don't know, they're probably what, a 13 to 15 inch pie? They're bigger than or maybe they're just a 12-inch pie. I don't know. That's right, I have a ruler. And it's wooden. And it's only inches. It's old school like that. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a 12-inch pie, not 13 or 15. But still, I can only assume that it's a loss leader, right? The way, Safeway and other grocery stores have 19 cents a pound bananas, even though the bananas cost them 50 cents a pound. But, they're bringing people in for that one thing, knowing they're going to spend a lot on a whole bunch of other stuff. Because I don't see how the economics of a $6 pie, I don't even see how that works. I don't understand how that even breaks even, let alone has any kind of profit margin. But I know that I don't know much. And, by the way, Andre, good to see you. And, I haven't had very many sweet potato pies, so I can't say I like them better than pumpkin, but I can say this. Sweet potato belongs in a pie, not in a French fry. Let me just make that clear. Sweet potato is for dessert yumminess, not for your meal. And I know lots of people disagree, and you're welcome to disagree. In fact, come sit next to me at the table and you can have all of my sweet potato. You can have it all. And it'll make me look like a good guest. I won't leave anything on my plate. You'll have eaten all the evidence. It's fine. It's fine. Andre, you've been craving for sweets. You're going to DoorDash for some slices of pie. Oh, man, I didn't even know you could do that. I mean, I guess if you have a pie place nearby, you could. Now I want pie. Darlene, you do like roasted sweet potato chunks? Yeah, they've got to be sweetened up and dressed up as a dessert thing, but and Andre, you've got a great dessert place. The DoorDash is awesome. And yeah, I know, Lady Tie-Dye, it's so typical. We always scatter to food. But in my defense, it started with McDonald's. This was a McDonald's thing. And then we scattered, as per the usual. Yeah. All right then. So, speaking of food, I mean, this isn't really food, but it kind of is food. It can be food. They're encouraging it to be food. How about that? I have got a little video from Molokai. So, now maybe we can talk about different kinds of pies. This kind could be maybe a hunter's pie, as it were. So, let's see here. I don't know. Let's hope this works. All right. We're going to watch. We're going to try to watch something.
Is known for having way too many deer. Pono Poipoi shared this video with us after he got stuck on Mauna Loa Highway last Friday, just outside of Kaunakakai. These non-native deer have been very damaging to the island, eating up vegetation and causing erosion. The Maui Axis Deer's Task Force has been encouraging hunters to target females to help control the population.
I just taken off before I could get out of port on Richter. Southbound on port, high rate of speed.
11:30 Wednesday morning.
Okay, that didn't even work. All right, well, it worked when I tried it. Basically, it was a whole bunch of deer getting in the way of the traffic on Molokai. And so, they're encouraging hunters to have, they want to have July 4th deer barbecue on Molokai. Exactly. I tried, Rick. It wasn't working. Here, let's try again. Let's try one more time. Okay, so Yeah, this is really annoying. I know. Sorry, guys. Oh, now it won't work. Erg. Alright, gall dang it. It worked before. We'll figure something out. Maybe. Oh, this might work. Okay, hold on. Let's maybe see if we can do this. Okay.
Long wait times on the road, but it is known for having way too many deer. Pono Poipoi shared this video with us after he got stuck on Mauna Loa Highway last Friday, just outside of Molokai. These non-native deer have been very damaging to the island, eating up vegetation and causing erosion. The Maui Axis Deer's Task Force has been encouraging hunters to target females to help control the population.
I was taking off before I could get out of port on Richter. Southbound on port, high rate of speed.
11:30 Wednesday morning.
All right, there, I did it. Oh, really, Rick? That the traffic crash that I stopped happened in Milwaukee. Interesting. And yeah, sorry, you guys. I know. I'm just like, Lady Tie-Dye. If someone were to tune in right now, the dark screen and just hearing me breathe. Yeah, I know exactly. I didn't realize that my microphone was was still on, and I was breathing very frustratedly into the microphone. So, thanks for your patience, you guys. And C Honda, so good to see you. And let's see here. Okay, so favorite pies. Rick's is cherry. Darlene loves the blueberry. But let's see here. But you technically like a lot of pews. Oh, I think pies. Lemon meringue, chocolate halpia, so many. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. Let's see here. And yes, it was a lot of deers. And in fact, it was hard to see. I don't know if you, could see it or not, but, there was a singular moped guy and a guy on a bicycle bike. On one of the moped guy was in the road, the bicycle guy was on the side of the road, but they were stuck between the two herds, and they were just like, oh, I'm just gonna stand here for a little while. Oh no. I would hate to be so exposed on a bicycle or a moped in the middle of two raging herds of rushing deer, livestock, horses, elk, I don't care, moose, whatever, I don't care. And let's see here. What kind of pie
It's just very disturbing.
was Lady Tie-Dye
And then
mentioning
I Googled,
that you've never had?
One of the captions that came up is be prepared to be very scared.
Let's see here. All right, well, I missed the lady.
Trubisky says
oh,
it's
wait, what?
for trimming her neighbor's crepe myrtles, which were hanging over the fence above her pool.
Okay, Lady Tie-Dye, you love Ollalieberry pie? Ollalieberry pie? Explain what? I don't. What? It's your specialty where you're at. Okay, is it?
Exposed her backyard patio to anyone who may want to look down
Confused. Is it?
upstairs window.
See, Honda knows what you're talking about. I haven't had an Ollalieberry pie forever. It's tart and good. Okay, and the Ollalieberry developed in Oregon, and we just love hearing people say it. So, is that like a Marionberry or a blackberry or a boysenberry or a black raspberry? Is it that type of berry? Because Oregon is famous for having Marionberry being the most famous, which, by the way, Marionberry is quite possibly my favorite pie. Oh my goodness gracious. If you guys haven't had a Marionberry pie, you are missing out. It is the best of blackberry combined with raspberry. It's a vibrant flavor, but it's a deep flavor. It's got a little bit of a tartness to it, but it's just sweet and mellow, even though it's got a tartness to it.
Harass her neighbor. And I think that might be a remedy for her.
Did that fix it? I hope it fixed it. Maybe that fixed it. Okay, so, thank you, Elaine, by the way, because you guys know I'm running deaf. I don't have my earplugs on. My earphones on. So, let's see here. I hope that I hope that everything's got fixed when it comes to audio. Let me know if it isn't. And so let's see here. Rick coming in with random Google. The Ollalieberry is a cross between a loganberry and a youngberry, which are crossed to blackberries, raspberries, and dewberries. Interesting. I don't think I know what a youngberry is. I like loganberry. Loganberry and Marionberry are two of my favorites. And I don't know what a youngberry is, and I don't know what a dewberry is, but I'm assuming that they must be like the kind of berries that a blackberry, a raspberry is, a drupe, as it were. So, C Honda, yes, Marionberry, last name spelled Barry, very different than the Marionberries that come out of Oregon. One of them has a lot of seeds. The other one has a lot of cracks. Yeah, I said it. That's right. And let's see here. Puzzycat, no McRib for me. Since the beginning of the show. You're K, not feeling good. Get to the Lono break. Okay, we can get to that Lono break. I am sorry that you're not feeling well. Gina, I think, got the joke that I said. That's good because it was a really bad joke, but it had to be said because, you know, come on. Who doesn't think of crack when they think of Marionberry? I'm sorry. If you're old enough to remember the scandal, that's all I remember him for. Losing his job for hookers and crack and then getting it back next election. How do you not forget that guy? Anyway, so today I thought we would do something slightly different with our Lono Listening break. We will first we were going to talk about KamuelaMan. KamuelaMan is he is actually my very first viewer ever. When I first went online, July 3rd of, I think, 2021, it was a 15-minute show of me being freaked out talking to the camera, and I had no idea what the show was going to be about or anything. I just decided once the tech that I had pieced together poorly was all up and running, barely, I thought I'd give it a whirl. I went on for about 15 minutes, and KamuelaMan was the only chatter in the box. I don't think KamuelaMan has come to chatter with Statter since then, but that's okay. I don't care because he is he will always be my first, so to speak, and he was a very important part of the Hamajan community. And for those of you who don't know, he was recently hospitalized for reasons that are still very unclear. Unfortunately, what was clear, though, was he was paralyzed from the waist down for a while. And they don't know what caused the paralyzation. They don't know what is going on. He was taken to Oahu to Queens Medical Center. He was in the ICU for quite some time. He has since regained feeling in his legs and is no longer paralyzed. But he still is in the hospital at Queens Medical Center because they don't actually know what it was that caused him to have this happened to him. And so one of the last shows of Andy Bumatai's Daily Pigeon, I did mention that KamuelaMan was in the hospital. We didn't know a lot about that, about what, I knew nothing about why or what was going on at the time. So in the last few days, I found out a few more things, and so I thought I would bring you guys up to date with the very little bit that I know. I know this only through his Facebook page, so I am getting, you know, second, third-hand accounts. I definitely think that if you have access to, if you know his wife Laura and have deeper access, by all means, reach out via those connections rather than taking my word for it. But what does this have to do with Lono? This is what this has to do with Lono. Today, I thought we could use one of KamuelaMan's videos that he created for his own YouTube channel, and he also used to share his videos with Andy Bumatai, and Andy has used plenty of KamuelaMan's footage to create Lono videos, etc. I was looking for Hodshot, but I couldn't find it anywhere on the web. However, I did find this one, and it is a road trip down to the Mauna Kea Beach Hotel, and it happens to use a Lono song called The Moon and the Jellyfish. And after this KaMan video, I was going to talk a little bit about the moon and the jellyfish, because there's a thing. But for right now, let's check out KaMan. And nope, this is not the lava lamp video, but let's check out KaMan and the Lono song Moon and Jellyfish.
Hey gang, the Cam. We'll take you for a ride down to the Mauna Kea Beach Hotel.
right, so there you go. Okay, so it sounds like a couple of you guys have actually been to this hotel in one way or another, be it a a guest with another guest or just for the breakfast buffet. But yeah, it sounds like no matter who you are, you might be very well fed if you stay at that hotel, even if you're a tiny little mouse. So, yeah. So Rick did put a link into KamuelaMan's YouTube page. So by all means, if you want to check out more of his videos, I really encourage you to check out more of his videos. Actually, he's Hawaii Island based, and he literally has some videos. There's one video he's got. I considered showing it to you guys, but it's kind of a big time waste, which is why it's a beautiful flippin' video, because literally all it is 10 or 12 minutes of the beach at YPO Valley. There's no panning, there's no commentary, there's no walking. It's just the camera is set out on the beach, and you get to watch the waves and listen to the waves roll in on the sand in that beautiful, beautiful valley setting. It is the most relaxing video. I really, really, and then he's also got videos that are just tide pools. 4 or 5 minutes of just the waves crashing into this tide pool. He's just got he's got videos of his cow, because he's got a pet cow. So his videos run the gamut. He's got videos of artwork that he's created, and the final results and the work in progress, etc. So he's got a ton of videos. By all means, check out his YouTube page for sure. And let's see here. Yeah, and so basically, Elaine, I'm super stoked that KamuelaMan created that video. I mean, because here's the deal, quite honestly, I downloaded it today. I did not ask his permission, but sharing it with you all in hopes that y'all will go give him some clicky clicks as well. And subscribe if you want. He doesn't post regularly, so even if you don't want to subscribe, be sure to come back and check him. Check on his site every once in a while. And so let's see here. Andre, your mom got busted putting buffet food into the plastic bag on her lap at the Mauna Kea, and the waitress was so polite and said something kind but to the point, don't cockroach the grinds. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're not staying there. Oh, well, I guess you have to still pay for the buffet when you go in, so never mind. But yeah, classic mom move. Having a, plastic bag in her purse for the extras that might just, fall off the plate. Yeah, not the first mom to do that, I'm sure. I know, she's not the first mom to do that. All right, so you guys, the song that was in that K-Man video was called The Moon and the Jellyfish, and I never really gave much thought to the title of that song. I just know it's a good Lono song. I enjoy it. It's an instrumental. Nice to have it on in the background. And as it turns out, though, there is a connection between the moon phase and jellyfish. And in different parts of the world, that moon connection is a little bit different. So, for instance, in Hawaii, you've got the box jellyfish, right? You've also got a couple different other kinds of jellyfish, but we're particularly talking about the box jellyfish here. The box jellyfish is quite venomous. You don't really want to be caught in a swarm of them. And as it turns out, you very well might get caught in a swarm of them during certain times of the month. And they've been able to track it long enough now that they literally have jellyfish forecasts for the Hawaiian Islands and where these these stinging buggas might show up. And as it turns out, 7 to 11 days after the full moon is when there's a certain amount of darkness, dark hours in the night or something. Anyway, it spurs these box jellyfish to go spawning. And so they head to the shore, they especially like sandy shores, the leeward side of the island they seem to prefer. But basically every 7 to 11 days after the full moon, they show up along the beaches and they have a little jellyfish love fest. So you do not want to be caught on the beaches during that time. Hey, Lady Tie-Dye, good to see you. I'm so glad you were able to teach us about the Ollalieberry. And I'm going to be looking that up later on. Have yourself a great night. I hope to see you next Wednesday. And oh my God, Picola T, your mom, your ex-mother-in-law wrapped leftovers in a napkin, put it in her purse, forgot about it, and then weeks later, oh no, she probably had to throw that purse away. Oh my. That's funny. But what isn't funny is getting stung by some jellyfish. So remember, and be aware, oddly enough, the moon phase and where jellyfish are going to show up does matter. So, when you're on the Hawaiian Islands, definitely pay attention to the jellyfish calendar, the jellyfish forecast. I know it seems like the strangest thing, like what, a forecast for that? But they actually do correspond to the moon cycles. And these are box jellyfish that I'm talking about, by the way, not the moon jellyfish, which are a whole other kind of jellyfish and not nearly as frightening as the box jellyfish. What I'm talking about is purely the box jellyfish and their habits within that 7 to 10 days after the full moon is when they show up. But not all jellyfish do that. In fact, the jellyfish that are in the Mediterranean waters, Israeli scientists are starting to find out, they like to come to shore to spawn during the full moon. So something about these lighting conditions are spurring or, cueing these animals to reproduce. It's still something that we haven't necessarily figured all the way out, and obviously different jellyfish in different parts of the world have different correspondence, but basically that the moon and the jellyfish, well, they've got a lot going on and we don't understand it all. But Andre, you always get box jellies and man-o-wars confused. Man-o-wars are actually like really ugly and like big, and I don't think I downloaded a picture, but I think I know where I can get one, and so I might go looking for one in a little minute. And let's see here. Your granddaughter, Darlene, got stung around her ankle at one beach. Not a box jelly, though. Yeah, very good, because apparently the box jellies are absolutely some of the most venomous. And hey, I be too quick to see. First time chatter coming in with the facts. 2 weeks after the full moon come the box jellies. Okay, see, now the sources I said 7 to 10 days, but 2 weeks still right around there. And so yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I be too quick to see. And super stoked you could be here, coming in with the excellent facts, joining the chat like that. I'm Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter. You're now part of the Statterbox crew. And let's see here. So yeah, Picola T, man-o-wars have they have a bluish glassy look, and they've got colorful appendages. Like they're the most colorful jellyfishes I've ever seen. But let's see here. What was I going to talk about next? I remember now. Okay, so the moon and the jellyfish, they have a little symbiotic thing going on. But so do yeah, well, I'd be too quick to see. You might actually know more than what I'm reading on the interwebs, because you might actually live on the islands and you see it with your own two eyes. Whereas I'm just going by what I've read, and sometimes what you read isn't exactly right. So, super stoked that you can come in with, this is how it is. And another thing about how this is how it is, sea turtles need the moonlight as well. All sorts of animals, as it turns out, get cued by the light of the moon in different ways. And I thought I would share this with you guys because this is pretty awesome news, kind of strange news, but it's actually wonderful that us humans are starting to recognize that we as humans, with our light pollution, can cause some issues, but with some very simple strategies, we can mitigate some of the problems. So let's take a look at this. Boop.
Back on Oahu, new measures are in place at Sandy Beach Park to help green sea turtle hatchlings.
Chris Latronic joins us now in East Oahu with more. Good morning, Chris. Yes, a lot of interesting happenings here at Sandy Beach Park, especially with a bunch of green sea turtles that have been hatching here pretty high up on the beach like we've never seen before. So as you can see behind me, beautiful morning here at Sandy Beach, but they've also been putting in new measures to help them out, especially turning off the lights at night. To tell us more is Nate Sirota with the Parks and Recreation Department with the city. Good morning, Nate. So tell me, a lot have been happening here at Sandy Beach.
Yeah, it's been quite a busy time here at Sandy Beach. The biologists with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service first reported to us in mid-July that they saw about 6 turtle nests popping up here from one mom, actually, one very prolific mom. And so they've been hatching since the past month or so. And so recently we turned off the lights to give them a better chance of reaching the ocean when they first hatch.
Yeah, so what is it about the lights that really affects the turtles, especially during their hatching?
Sure. So again, they tend to hatch at night. They're nocturnal hatchers. And so when they first hatch, they go towards the ocean and they're led by the moonlight or other celestial objects. So if there's artificial lights that are distracting them, they can be disoriented and head towards that light. And so that can either take them away from the ocean or also drain their energy and make it so that when they do finally get to the ocean, they are just tired.
Okay, so that's a good measures that are being put on to help out the sea turtles. So yes, you say the biologists have been really finding new things about this, especially over in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands. So what's been the new trend with the birthing of green sea turtles?
Sure. So on the tail end of the pandemic, we started seeing some of the nests, the turtle nests, popping up over at Bellows and Waimanalo Beach, and so we started closing the campgrounds there during turtle nesting season to accommodate that, and that was unprecedented to the community out there. And now we're seeing the same thing down here at Sandy's. So from what we're being told, the hypothesis is that their natural habitat where they normally lay their eggs in the French frigate shoals is being impacted by sea level rise. And so we should anticipate seeing more and more of these nests coming to our Hawaiian shores because their natural areas are being impacted like that.
Wow. And you're also telling me an interesting fact where we're seeing way more along Oahu beaches.
Yeah, they're estimating, only about, 3, 4, 5 before the pandemic, and now we're closer to 40, 50, even 60 a year.
Wow. So thank you, Nate, for all the efforts that you guys are doing, as well as all the biologists. We're helping endangered species, our green sea turtles, to make sure our hatchlings get a good shot at life, especially here at Sandy. So we got to be extra careful. I know it's a popular beach, but we have to be extra careful to help out the green sea turtle. This is Chris Latronic working for Hawaii right here at Sandy Beach Park. Sending things back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, there we go. So that was our little bit more learning tidbit for the day, and I think it's super awesome that that there's such an increase of hatching activity going on the islands. But it is a little bit disturbing, obviously, if one of the reasons for the increase is because other hatching grounds are disappearing under the sea, basically. And you're right, too quick to be seen. I be too quick to see, sorry. They have turned the lights back on because all of those nests have hatched, apparently. So that is super awesome. I love a little happy ending story like that. But what I do have to wonder, and I don't expect anyone to know this, but you might know, you'd be too quick to be seen, and I know that's not how it is, but you know who you are. How do you know? How do they know where there's a sea? Unless you see the sea turtle actively having her eggs and burying her eggs, how do they know where the eggs are? Like, how is there a way that you can tell, like, oh, that's a turtle nest? Because the reason why I ask, I guess, is because I see that in that news clip, they had the area cordoned off, you know? And so how do they know what's under the sand there? And I mean, it sounds like from what the news reporter was saying and from what I read earlier, that they knew that they had 6 nests at Sandy's, and then so clearly, the big pile of sand, I don't know, sometimes sand gets its own piles, but the tracks from that pile to the water, I guess that does make sense. Right, footprints and stuff, or flipper prints. And then I be too quick to see. You think it's because turtles are slow and you see the mom nest. Plenty of people volunteer the info to the Parks and Rec. That part I definitely know. I know that we have harbor seals in the Puget Sound that the moms bring their babies up to the shore to rest and while they go out foraging for more food, and then so baby seals are occasionally just abandoned. They're not abandoned on the shore. And when that happens, the public lets the Parks and Recreation people know, and then people go guard it to make sure people don't harass the stupid things, because people are stupid and they think that the baby has been abandoned when actually it's not. And then they want to go pet the baby, and they want to take the baby, they want to steal the baby, they want to save the baby. So we have people that do the guarding of the seals around here, and so I guess that makes sense that there'd be turtle people. And okay, right, Andre, bring up a very good point. Those turtles are heavy and they go way higher than they usually do to bask, so the drag marks don't get washed out by the tide. Right, okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. And it did look like that nest was pretty far from the water. So okay, all right, I'm satisfied with these answers. I don't know if they're right, but I'm good with them. And let's see here. Yeah, exactly, Darlene. People are dumb for sure. It just, and I'm a people. So I feel that I'm allowed to say that people are dumb because I am a people. And sometimes I am a dumb people. We won't get into all the times I've been a dumb people. But we've already discussed, my last words are going to be, psst, psst, let me pet you. To something like, a coyote at best, more likely a cougar at worst. But yeah, psst, psst, let me pet you is gonna be my last words. So, people are dumb, and I include myself in the category of people, shall we say. I wear a people hat, and that's awesome, Pussycat. You had a record number of sea turtles nested in Florida. That is super awesome. And let's see here. Yes, the loggerheads and the leatherback. Yes. Now these sea turtles over here on Hawaii are obviously the Pacific green sea turtle, otherwise known as the honu. But both sets of turtles are faced with the same issues. I know that in Florida, they also have taken light pollution mitigation into consideration along certain beaches, so the turtles don't head towards the highway and all the highway lights, instead of heading towards the shiny moon, the shiny moon above the sea, which is where they're supposed to be going. And let's see here, Picola T, you'd prefer to utter your last words right after eating a slice of pie. Well, okay, now here's the deal. If I had some pie, my last words might actually be, psst, psst, let me pet you. Here, I have some pie. You want to lick the pie off my fingers? Might also be part of my famous last words. But, yeah. I'm not saying that you guys should do that. And, you got cake, pie, and a cobbler. Oh my God, Andre, that sounds like you need a glass of milk, actually. It sounds like you need a glass of milk. I'm not really a milk drinker, but when it comes to, like, a bunch of sweet desserts, I would like to swallow that with a glass of milk, please. And, let's see here. So, okay, Pussycat. So, the beach is patrolled at dawn every day at the beginning of nesting season, and they look for the tracks from the ocean or to find the nest. Okay, yeah, so basically they leave big ol' flippin' tracks. And June is the nesting season. Okay, all right, see? Learning something new every day. And, Picola T, your favorite pie is chocolate haupia pie. Interesting. You know, cream pies, and I know haupia pie isn't really a cream pie, but I'm gonna lump it in with that. They're not really my favorite. However, you know, that chocolate haupia does sound really good. Like, I kind of want one now. God dang it, you guys. And you're not really a milk drinker, but maybe Liquid Death sparkling water. Yeah, well, you're going to need something to cut that sweet and wash it all down with. That is for sure. And let's see here. August is hatching season, and we turn off all the lights on the coast. Right, okay, yeah. See, yeah, so, same diff with the Florida turts. The Florida turts and the Hawaii turts, they both need the light of the silvery moon on the water to bring those little babies to where they need to be. And let's see here. So, yeah, Darlene, from what I understand, Florida takes it very seriously. So, and they do take precautions, but obviously Pussycat is in a much better place to answer that. And oh my goodness, Andre throwing down the 5-sub gift as per his usual generous self. Thank you so much there, Andre. And let's see here, Verity. Yeah, okay, Verity. All right, Verity, deep dish boysenberry pie a la mode. Either you and I are going to have a problem, or we're going to be best friends. So as long as you give me peace, just a little piece of that pie, I'll be your best friend. I'll be your best friend, because that is exactly boysenberry pie, marionberry pie, loganberry pie. Sign me up. That is definitely the best pie as far as I'm concerned. And let's see here. Rick, you think you finished 2 chocolate haupia pies from Ted's last time you were there? Yep, I would not be surprised. From what I understand, Ted has the best of those. And yeah, goodness gracious, not only pie for everyone, we've got gift subs for everyone. Thank you so much, Andre. And cool. So I think I saw something I wanted to touch on, but alas, I am, I guess, making stuff up. All right then, there we go. Verity, yeah, you love marionberry, exactly. Now, Verity, have you heard of... Okay, you guys, help, what did Lady Tie-Dye? The Ollalieberry. Ollalieberry? Have you heard of the Ollalieberry? I guess it's something that they have in California that's kind of like a Marionberry or a boysenberry or a blackberry, maybe. Have you heard of an Ollalieberry? Okay, yeah, me either. I hadn't until tonight either. But I think, you guys, I might have to go down a rabbit hole, and we might have to learn all about the berries that come out of Oregon. Thank you, C. Honda. I knew you were there. The Ollalieberry. Ollalieberry is how I'm going to say. Ollalieberry. Verity, do you see what C. Honda wrote? That word.
It's just the sunset and me tonight.
And let's see here. You must have those berry pies hot with vanilla ice cream. I don't necessarily know about hot, although yes, let's do that. But for sure, you need the vanilla ice cream because all of those, the Marionberries, and it sounds like the Ollalieberries, those berries, they sound like they're just as equally intensely flavored as the Marionberry, the blackberry, the loganberry, the boysenberry. And so, yeah, it's always good to have the ice cream to cut that intense berryness. And yes, it's exactly right, Verity. It sounds very good. And honestly, yeah, any hot pie a la mode is the best. Now that I think about it, if you're gonna put ice cream on a pie, you definitely should be putting it on a hot piece, as it were. So let's see here. I did not mean to do that. Oh, I guess I did. I'm going to see if I can find what I wanted to find, but maybe I can't. Hold on. Here we go. La-di-da. Yep, that's right. This is a whole bunch of technical difficulties today. Oh, God dang it. Sorry about this, guys. I meant to do this when we were watching the news, but I forgot. So I didn't. And that's what we're talking about. That'll work actually just fine. Okay. So let's see here. While I did all that, let's see what you guys were talking about. Bread pudding, oh yum, bread pudding is so delicious. And Darlene, thank you so much. Yes, wishing everyone a lovely Thanksgiving. Speaking of which, because it is, for those of you on the YouTube side, you might not be able to see it, but it is the week of the incoming turkey. So I don't know if you guys are gonna have turkeys or what's going on, but it is the week of the incoming turkey. And so, so don't forget, I don't know if you're having ham. I don't know if you're having turkey. I don't know what you're having. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got no plans. I'll probably end up going to the bar like I do sometimes. But let's see here. I'm still trying to do what I'm trying to do. And I can't believe it's not that important, and yet here I am insisting on doing it. There we go. Okay, so now that I did what I did, that's a Portuguese man of war. Yeah, I know, all for nothing. We know what a Portuguese man of war looks like. Well, in case you didn't, that's what it looks like. And Andre, very good point. Unless you are Canadian, in which case Thanksgiving already happened. But that's okay, because you can still have incoming turkey every day of the week if you wish. And Coca-Cola tea, you can't remember where, but the best bread pudding you tasted was made with leftover chocolate croissant. Okay, that sounds delicious. That sounds fine and dandy. And Andre, I will not be going to the Waku bar because they are closed 2 days of the year, on Thanksgiving and on Christmas. So alas, I will not be going to my Wakus. Instead, I'll be going, I don't know where I'll be going. I don't know what I'll be doing. And I'll probably go to Jack in the Box for dinner or something like that. And Pussycat, yeah, those tentacles can reach 40 to 50 feet. I've actually heard they can even be longer, but let's just stick with 40 or 50, okay? Because that's way too long enough. And let's see here. Elaine, yeah, you might not be here on Wednesday. A lot of folks I'm anticipating will not be here on Wednesday, and so I'm glad that we are able to hang out here today. But on Wednesday, I will be streaming, and so 5 p.m. West Coast time. If you are not running ragged, getting ready for the holiday, by all means, come and join us. Who knows what we'll be talking about? My best guess is we might discuss food. I know. It's a real off chance that we might discuss food, but yeah, the topic might go there. And awesome, Andre, you get Wednesday off. So yeah, we definitely don't normally get to see you on Wednesdays. So if you're able to join us on Wednesday, by all means. On the other hand, I know that you've got a family that you like to do things with, and so you might be getting ready for the holiday on Thursday. And if you can't make it here, that is totally understandable. And Pussycat, oh no, you had one wrap around your leg when you were surfing a long time ago. Oh, kill me now. Oh my God, that just sounds like a nightmare. I'm about to say something I really shouldn't say, but I'm gonna say it. I've never been stung by a jellyfish. My sister has, but I haven't. I really feel very fortunate about that. So, and Darlene, you think that's the kind that your granddaughter got stung by? Portuguese man of war. Yeah, they said it was a blue one on the beach. Yeah, I think that they are, I think that they're the only ones that are blue, that have the bluish tinge. They're the only ones that I've heard of that have the bluish tinge. Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about. We don't have these kind of jellyfish in the Puget Sound. So yeah. So I can't obviously, confirm or deny. And yeah, you got stung across your belly. Oof, so painful. I bet. And well, I guess what it is, Andre, is if you live to complain about the sting, it's got to be the Portuguese man of war. And if you die because of the sting, it's like, oh, that was a box. Yeah, that was a box jellyfish there. So, as long as you end up living, they're going to blame the blue one, right? Right? I don't know. All right, you guys, it is 2 minutes until the bottom of the hour, and so we need to wrap things up. Gather your leftovers, put them in your napkin, deep in your purse, wrap it all up, but don't forget about it for a couple weeks. Take the leftovers out when you get home. Take the leftovers out when you get home. That's exactly right. Pussycat coming in with a 2-minute warning, which granted, we all know this is not a 2-minute warning in real life, but in Chatter with Statter, it is the 2-minute warning. 1 minute, 2 minute. Got it? Now you know. Okay, so, and yeah, neither of you, Darlene, been stung, but she was crying, and my son-in-law said hurt like heck too. Oh, I'm sure, and I definitely, I hope that she was, I mean, I don't hope that she was crying, but I hope she had no shame in crying, because I would be probably crying and screaming and acting like a 18-month-year-old. Wait, an 18-month-year-old? You know what I mean by that. All right, so. Oh no, Andre, you sat on fire ants on the Big Island? Not nice. No, not nice at all. The closest I've ever had to that is I was in Texas, swimming in the river, and I had my clothes, you know, along the shore. So then I go and I put my pants back on. Well, literally, my pants were full of ants. So I had ants in my pants, and honestly, they made me do the boogie dance. I was all shaking and shimmy. I was like, what in the heck? All itchy and bitey. So yeah, I didn't sit on fire ants, and these were not fire ants, but they were little bitey ants, and I had them in my pants. So on that note, don't get ants in your pants. I can promise you, it will make you do the boogie dance. And there you have it. Wise words coming from Chatter with Statter. All right, you guys, we will see each other on Wednesday, 5 p.m. West Coast time. Until then, enjoy your week and get ready for some big eating on Thursday. Take care.